Hey there guys, this is Richard, your host, with another marvelous video. Welcome my fellow mutants. Every species on this earth has their alpha, but the mutant kinds, they have their omegas too. Omega level demarcates the most indefinable genetic potential and unimaginable power that a mutant can reach for any one of their super abilities. The term was first used in Uncanny X-Men issue number 208 in 1986 to describe the exceptional level of mutant power. It was later used in 2001 in X-Men Forever, after which it became a regular in comics. Today, we unite to know about the mutants who have ever displayed an Omega level power. So, without further ado, let's go above and beyond to know about our Omegas. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Jean Grey. Jean Elaine Grey made her first appearance in the X-Men issue number 1 in September 1963. She was created by the legendary writer Stan Lee and artist co-writer Jack Kirby. While being born to normal parents, she was gifted with telepathy and telekinesis since birth. Her powers first manifested when she was a kid. Her friend got hit by a car and killed, and Jean linked with her in that moment telepathically. She nearly went comatose. Xavier took her in and trained her, controlling her telekinetic powers. He nicknamed her Marvel Girl, the only female in the X-Men team. Cyclops and Wolverine were both her love interests. She is an Omega-level telepath, but not an Omega-level telekinetic. Let us look at the times when she manifested Omega powers. Jean was once able to connect with all mutants around the globe, both telepathically and in her astral form. She was the only one to use her telepathy to break through multiple helmets that villains used to shield them from mental attacks. Even Xavier was no match for her, as she can break through his psychic barriers too. The Phoenix Force, the essence of the universe, was bonded to her soul in physical form, and she was the only one able to manipulate it into creating monsters and hurting opponents. Combining her telepathy and telekinesis, she was able to put together the broken diamond form of Emma Frost. Even after being subdued by Apocalypse in a battle, she destroyed all his mental barriers and ripped out his heart. She once stopped a group of soldiers by turning all their weapons and dresses into atoms and threatened to rip them apart too, if they didn't comply. But her greatest feat was as the White Phoenix, when she merged with the Phoenix Force forever. She woke up in the future and saw the world was a mess. To mend it, she literally held the universe in the palm of her hands and changed history. Jean has a wide footprint in the X-Men pop culture. She has made her appearance in the X-Men movie franchise and was portrayed by Famke Janssen and Sophie Turner. In the film franchise, her vast powers in the Dark Phoenix storyline was explored. Kid Omega. Quintavious Quirinius Quinton Quire, aka Kid Omega, made his first appearance in New X-Men issue number 134 in January 2003. He was created by writer-artist duo Grant Morrison and artist Frank Quitely. He's a rebellious young hero who made his impression in Xavier's pretty early on in his career and became one of his most prized students, mainly due to his intellect. He is a psionic of the highest order and a brilliant skilled telekinetic. He's an Omega-level telepath who was capable of casting illusions and manipulating the minds of his opponents. He's able to create psychic weapons and can create alternate universe contaminants called the Construct to jail his opponents. The true nature of Quire's Omega-level power is seen after he created a riot at Professor X's school. He tried to prove himself and his powers to his love, Sophie, who died in the riot. He entered a catatonic state after being stopped by the Cuckoos and Emma Frost, and his body was burned out by his own psionic stress. But the Phoenix Force tracked his existence and entered his remains, rejuvenating him. He was the only one chosen by the Force after Jean Grey, as he was so powerful. He used the Force and tried to resurrect his love, Sophie. He later infiltrated an international arms conference in Switzerland and psionically persuaded the world's leader to give up their deepest, darkest secrets on camera. After this incident, he was marked as the world's greatest mutant terrorist. Later, he helped Thor and fought the Phoenix Force along with Thor's hammer. He negotiated with the Force and absorbed a part of it and became the new god of Shi'ar. He gave up his power to give Jubilee her mutant abilities back. Legion. David Charles Holler, aka Legion, made his first appearance in comics in New Mutants issue number 25 in March 1985. He was created by the writer-artist duo Chris Claremont and Bill Sienkiewicz. He is the son of Charles Xavier and a psychiatric patient, Gabrielle Holler. During their affair, Holler became pregnant with Xavier's son, but hid it from him. She raised him with his stepfather. David's powers first manifested when terrorists killed his parents. He psychically incinerated and absorbed their minds and went comatose. Moira took him under her care somewhere in Muir Island, but the trauma caused David's psyche to fracture into multiple personalities, like Karami, the terrorist who killed his parents and was telepathic, Jack Wayne, who was a telekinetic adventurer, and Cindy, who was a moody rebel girl and a pyrokinetic. Since he had all these powerful personas in him, he was named Legion. His Omega-level power mainly lies in absorbing minds of mutants and mimicking any power that they have. There are no bounds or end to his power. When he was taken over by the Shadow King, Legion destroyed 2/3 of the Muir Island and killed the mutant Destiny, absorbing her persona. This persona suggested him to go back in time and kill Magneto and fulfill Xavier's dream. He traveled back in time and was about to kill Magneto, but Xavier jumped in and was killed instead. Horrified from the shock, he traveled back in time and killed himself. Later, he was resurrected by Magic to aid him in destroying the world. Magic called him the God Mutant. Legion, after being resurrected, altered reality to wipe the Elder Gods from existence and create a world that existed before the gods. He has manifested nearly 53 personalities till date, but is said to have as many as thousands of personalities in him, which keeps on increasing in number. And his control works better on the personalities when he's self-confident and his self-esteem is higher. Legion has also made his appearance in the live-action adaptation in the Fox TV series, where he was played by Dan Stevens. The show has received high critical acclamations since then. Franklin Richards. Franklin Benjamin Richards first appeared in Fantastic Four Annual Number 6 in November 1968. He was created by the legendary writer-artist duo Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. He was the son of Reed and Sue Richards, two of the main characters from the superhero team Fantastic Four. Due to his parents' radiation-altered genes, he owned the mutant ability to warp realities even to the cosmic level and make all his desires come true. He is an Omega-level telepath and reality bender, but due to the extent of his powers, he's sometimes designated as Beyond Omega. When he was a baby, the Rod of Annihilus unleashed his true potential of psionic power. He started generating psionic blasts that can obliterate the entire solar system and had to be put into a coma by Reed Richards. Once Mephisto, the Lord of Hell, kidnapped Reed, Sue, and Franklin. Franklin wiped Mephisto away with just one blast from his eyes. As a child, he saved his stillborn sister by teleporting her to another universe where she grew up to be Marvel Girl. When Onslaught killed the Avengers and the Fantastic Four, Franklin kept them alive in a pocket universe. His future self traveled through time and trained himself as a boy. He fought off and defeated celestial gods by absorbing power from his younger self. When the Fantastic Four were battling the Mad Celestials, he not only resurrected the celestial planet Eta Galactus, but also made him his herald. When the Ultimate Universe was destroyed after the Ultimatum event, he helped Reed and Molecule Man recreate the entire multiverse by shaping new realities. That was when Ultimate Universe counterparts came to Earth 616. Franklin has made his appearance later in the Marvel Ultimate Alliance video game. Matthew Malloy. Matthew Malloy first appeared in Uncanny X-Men Volume 3, issue number 23, in July 2014. He was created by writer-artist duo Brian Michael Bendis and Chris Anker. He's considered to be more than an Omega-level mutant, almost with the power of a god. He is the largest superhuman energy resource ever to be registered by Cerebro. He has the power to warp reality around him, much like Franklin Richards, but at a much larger scale. Apart from telepathy and telekinesis, he can also generate different forms of other dimensional energies and alter matter around him. He's able to teleport to vast distances and can bring himself back from the dead. He is sometimes described as a god, with the power of life and death, time and space in the palm of his hands. He suffered trauma when his wife was killed by a Skrull and moved to Newbury to stay alone. When faced with heartbreaking memories by his sister-in-law, he went out of control and decimated everything around him with an energy blast. Maria Hill, the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., tried negotiating with him, but in the process unhinged him more. She sent a strike team to stop him, but Matthew went completely out of control and obliterated everyone in the area, killing a lot of X-Men, like Cyclops, Magic, and Emma Frost. Later, an X-Man called Tempest went back in time and helped Xavier to stop Matthew's parents from ever meeting, ceasing him to ever be born. That ended the tragic arc of Matthew Malloy. He is one of those short-lived Omegas that have left their mark on the readers and is spoken about a lot over the fandom. Mr. M. Absalon Zabardin Mercator, aka Mr. M, first appeared in District X issue 2 in 2004 and was created by writer David Hine and artist David Yardin. His past remains enigmatic and not much is known of his origin. He spent his childhood in a small village near Ghent, Belgium. He settled down in Mutant Town and was mostly reclusive. He only went out at night to drink. He is an Omega with complete mastery over atoms and subatoms of matter and energy. He's a telepath and telekinetic and can heal himself from any wound. He's able to create lesser life forms and help them evolve. Mr. M is known to transfer matter into energy and vice versa. Whatever he chooses to become reality actually became real. This godlike power earned the Omega level recognition. He once turned the bully inside out just by willing it. Since he has the ability to affect matter at its subatomic level, he's able to create nuclear explosions out of thin air. With his godlike power, he helped the mutants who were not so lucky to fit into the society due to their appearances. He helped take away their powers and give them a new life ahead. One of the most recognized feats of Mr. M as an Omega was that he was one of the 198 mutants to retain his powers after Wanda altered the entire Marvel universe by uttering the words, "No more mutants," in the attempt of wiping off all mutant life from Earth. Cable. Nathan Christopher Charles Summers, aka Cable, was created by writer Louise Simonson and artist co-writer Rob Liefeld, and made his first appearance as the Warrior Cable in the New Mutants issue number 87 in March 1990. He's the son of Cyclops and Madelyne Pryor, the first clone of Jean Grey. Infected by a technovirus as an infant, he was transported to the future so that he can be treated and cured. After being cured, he grew up to be the Warrior Cable and was fighting for the rebellion against Apocalypse. He traveled back to the present timeline and has been an ally to the X-Men since. Cable has got telekinetic and telepathic abilities. He's able to psionically slow down time and jump from any future moment during a fight to tackle his opponent. His techno-organic part gives him enhanced strength and durability. He's able to alter molecules using his telekinesis. He once regrew his head after being shot. He also once single-handedly detonated 247 missiles and funneled the blast into space using his techno-shield. He once rewrote a man's DNA and turned his hands into luminescent fungus. He also once turned so powerful that in a battle with the Silver Surfer, he broke Surfer's board into splinters. There have been many arguments as to whether Cable is an Omega-level mutant, but this was acknowledged in the comic books by a clone of the Red Skull. While in battle with Cable, the cloner proved that Cable is indeed an Omega-level mutant. Cable has been one of the fan favorites over the years. He's also appeared in the live-action movie box office blockbuster Deadpool 2, where he was played by Josh Brolin. Storm. Aurora Monroe, aka Storm, first appeared in Giant-Size X-Men issue number 1 in May 1975. She was created by Len Wein and Dave Cockrum. She was a daughter of an African-American photojournalist, David Monroe, and a tribal princess of Kenya, Ndare. After her parents were killed, she turned into a pickpocket to sustain her life. But Xavier took her in and trained her to hone her mutant powers and become one of the female leaders of the X-Men. Storm has the power to control the atmosphere psionically over vast areas. She's able to summon rain, blizzards, hurricanes, and thunderstorms, and also cosmic storms. When underwater, she can breathe by splitting water into oxygen and hydrogen. In outer space, she's able to manipulate intergalactic and interstellar energy and perceive the whole universe through the flow of kinetic energy. Long before she was officially classified as an Omega, she had displayed such feats of power which only an Omega could show. She once saved a village in Santo Marco by stopping an entire tsunami using her powers. When Wolverine died, she was so heartbroken that she requested Beast to take her above Earth's atmosphere. She screamed and let her emotions out, and that ignited the Earth's atmosphere, which created a worldwide aurora effect. Later, an evil Rachel Summers took over Storm and used her powers to raise a primal storm that can potentially wipe the Earth clean to its primordial state. She stood against the Silver Surfer once, alone. In the battle, she struck him down with a cosmic bolt. Once, the cosmic being, named Eternity, took help of Storm and Doctor Strange, where she provided the life support and Strange performed surgery on him. Only Storm and Strange were spiritually strong enough who could survive saving Eternity. She was officially designated an Omega-level mutate by the telepathic parasite named Supergiant, who operated under Thanos. Storm is the second most notable female member of the X-Men. She's also made appearances in live-action X-Men movies. Her older version was portrayed by Halle Berry, and the younger version was portrayed by Alexandra Shipp. She's often described as the first black female superhero, as well as one of the most iconic characters ever created in comic books. Magneto, aka Max Eisenhardt, aka Eric Lenscher, was created by the legendary writer Stan Lee and artist co-writer Jack Kirby. He first appeared in X-Men issue number 1 in September 1963. He was born in the 1920s in a German Jewish family. When the Nazis came to power after the passing of Nuremberg laws, they attempted to flee to Poland, but they were abducted and sent to the Warsaw Ghetto. His mind was shaped during his suffering and the tortures he faced in the Holocaust. He firmly believed that mutant kind are the superior species, and he dedicated his life in creating a world where mutants will rule and enslave humankind. Magneto is an Omega-level mutant and the master of magnetism. He can manipulate and control all kinds of metals. He can generate magnetic force fields and create magnetic armors. He can also use magnetism to reduce gravity and fly. He can even manipulate the electromagnetic spectrum and create wormholes. He is sometimes referred to as the most powerful supervillain on Earth. Magneto once ripped all the adamantium out of Wolverine's body and left him critically injured. Once he had to face the entire Avengers team alone. When they charged, he stopped Iron Man's armor and reversed the iron in everyone else's blood and stopped them dead in their tracks. Magneto once generated an EMP blast so big that all technology was shut down globally. His electromagnetic shield is so powerful that it once withstood a fully fledged nuclear blast. He saved San Francisco from an earthquake single-handedly by fortifying all the metal structures across the city. When the dreaming Celestial was dying, Magneto held his body together with his electromagnetic powers. In the Ultimate Universe, when his children died, he took over Thor's Mjolnir and reversed Earth's magnetic poles. This caused flooding and global catastrophe and killed almost all of the Ultimate Line heroes. This event was known as Ultimatum, where almost all of the heroes in the Ultimate Universe died, and the rest that were left were merged into the main Marvel Universe designated Earth 616. Magneto has also made his appearance in the X-Men movies. The older version was played by Sir Ian McKellen, and the younger version was played by Michael Fassbender. Rachel Summers. Rachel Ann Summers, aka Rachel Grey, made her first comic book appearance in the Uncanny X-Men issue number 141 in January 1981. She was created by writer Chris Claremont and artists John Byrne and John Romita Jr. She's the daughter of Cyclops and Jean Grey Summers from a dystopian future designated as Earth 811. She inherited Jean's telepathy and telekinesis and took the moniker of Phoenix and Marvel Girl early in her career. Later, she operated under the codename Prestige. She has the power of time manipulation, time travel, and can create chronoshield psionically. Additionally, she's also an empath and can sense others' emotions. Many times, Rachel has proved her status as an Omega-level mutant. When Jean was pregnant and possessed by the Phoenix, Rachel created a bonding with the entity. She was the longest host of Phoenix after Jean. During the Days of Future Past event, she used her time manipulation powers to send the consciousness of Kate Pryde back in time into the body of a younger Kate Pryde. When the omnipowerful cosmic entity called the Beyonder challenged humanity on his soul-searching quest, Rachel absorbed the Dark Phoenix force and fought him using the combined powers of Phoenix and her telekinesis. Once, when she was fighting an intangible android named Fury, she created a singularity in thin air and trapped Fury in a pocket dimension. Rachel unlocked her true power when she bonded with a sentient AI and wiped it out to stop the nanite swarm it was controlling. She also fought Thor and blocked a swing from Mjolnir and used it to incapacitate Thor. She now acts as a mutant death investigator in Krakoa. Hope Summers. Hope Summers made her first comic book appearance in X-Men issue number 205 in November 2007. She was created by the writer-artist duo Mike Carey and Chris Bachalo. On M-Day, when the Scarlet Witch uttered the words, "No more mutants," every mutant lost their superpowers, except for 198 of them. Hope was the first mutant to be born after M-Day. She was prophesied to be the child that saves both human and mutant kinds. As many attempts were made on her life in the present, Cyclops allowed his son Cable to take her to the future and protect her. It was then when Cable became her protector and took her to the future. Hope has displayed such feats of superpower that she's earned her much-deserved place as an Omega. When Hope was born, Xavier was connected to Cerebro in searching for the mutants. Her birth gave out such a psionic surge that Cerebro short-circuited and stunned Xavier. She held her own against the enhanced Sentinel named Bastion and the X-Men, and destroyed Bastion using the X-Men's power. When Hope returned to the present timeline, her arrival activated 5 new X genes. These 5 mutants, who later came to be known as the 5 Lights, joined Hope in her new team named Generation Hope and fought alongside her. When Cable's body was destroyed by the techno-organic virus and almost killed him, Hope merged with the Phoenix Force and projected a Phoenix raptor that burned the techno-organic virus in Cable's body. This was the feat when she officially entered the Omega list, as no alpha mutant could do this. Once she went into a duel with a Phoenix-powered Cyclops and punched him with the Iron Fist and Chaos Energy so hard that the punch ripped open space-time and sent Cyclops to the moon. After defeating Cyclops, she took over the Phoenix Force to become White Phoenix. She now leads the Mutant Resurrection Group in Krakoa along with Egg, Proteus, Elixir, and Tempest. Her character is referred to by name in the movie Deadpool 2 by Cable. Stryfe. Stryfe made his first appearance in the New Mutants issue number 86 in February 1990. He was created by writer-artist duo Louise Simonson and Rob Liefeld. Nathan, the son of Cyclops and Jean, was infected by the techno-organic virus by Apocalypse. A woman named Mother Ascani traveled back from the future and offered help for Nathan. She took Nathan to the future and tried to cure him. She had Nathan's caretaker clone him as a backup plan, but the Apocalypse arrived and abducted the clone. He brought up the clone to be a murdering madman, an anarchist, and a terrorist. He takes up the name Stryfe. While on the other hand, Nathan grows up to become the warrior Cable, fighting against the army of Apocalypse to save the future. Stryfe is a telepath and a telekinetic. He has an indestructible body and enhanced strength and durability. When he was killed in a battle with Cable, he was able to keep his consciousness alive and enter Cable's mind. He's able to camouflage himself telepathically during a fight and transfer his mind to subdue his opponents. He wears battle armor that is impervious to damage and wields a blade that can cut through Apocalypse. Although he was born far away in the future, he's been officially included in the Omega list due to his unlimited savage scale of powers. Nathaniel Grey, aka X-Man, made his first appearance in X-Man issue number 1 in March 1995. He was created by the writer-artist duo Jeff Lube and Steve Skroch. He is an alternate universe version of Cable. In Earth 295, Mr. Sinister, aka Nathaniel Essex, coveted genetic samples from Scott and Jean Grey. In order to create a perfect weapon for his master, he tampered with the genes and Nate was born. Scott helped him to escape Sinister's prison. He trained under Forge to hone the full extent of his power. He rose up against Apocalypse and fought him in his world until he arrived at the mainstream Marvel Earth 616 and was nicknamed X-Man. Nate has proven time and time again that he's an Omega by showing the extent of his powers now and then. When he came to Earth 616, Nate detected Xavier in the astral plane. Nate then pulled him out of the astral plane and destroyed Xavier's projection. He psionically healed disabled people and also gave Madelyne Pryor a new body. He was able to bring the Gwen Stacy of the Age of Apocalypse reality back to life. Once he fought other dimensional monsters known as the Great Beasts and decimated Tundra from inside the Land Beast and threw Colomac and Somon into space. He once traveled through multiple universes under the influence of his own powers. He used his powers to bring himself back from the dead once. When the Anti-Man attacked and tried to consume the entire human race, Nate jumped in front and merged with him. He nullified the aura of Anti-Man and spread his own energy across the globe and died, saving humankind. Proteus. Kevin McTaggart, aka Proteus, aka Mutant X, was introduced in the Uncanny X-Men issue number 125 in September 1979. He was created by writer Chris Claremont and artist co-writer John Byrne. He was the son of Moira and the sinister Joseph McTaggart. Joseph repeatedly abused and violated Moira and made her pregnant. She gave birth to Proteus, who was made of purely psionic energy with no true physical form. Proteus needed to find hosts constantly to host his energy, but anyone he possesses burns out from the psionic stress. With each body that he possesses, his power seems to grow. It makes his next host body more difficult to contain his energy each time. He's able to warp reality of an object just by looking at it, but once he looks away from it, the object returns to normal. After the events of M-Day, the mutant gene in Proteus was changed in a way that he could possess multiple people at the same time. This increased his power way more to an Omega level. He once used his powers to merge Earth with the astral plane in order to fulfill the wishes of the people in the Scottish village of Fetters Hill. He currently works as one of the 5 and helps in mutant resurrection along with Hope, Egg, Elixir, and Tempest. Vulcan. Vulcan, aka Gabriel Summers, first appeared in X-Men Deadly Genesis issue number 1 in January 2006. He was created by writer-artist duo Ed Brubaker and Trevor Hairsine. He's the son of Christopher Summers and Catherine Summers and a brother to Cyclops and Havoc. In the Shi'ar Empire, when Catherine and her family were abducted by Deacon the Majuster, she was pregnant with Gabriel. When Christopher tried to escape, the angry Emperor stabbed Catherine and killed her, killing Gabriel too. But Gabriel was removed as a fetus and he was aged in an incubator accelerator. While on Earth, running an errand for the Emperor, Gabriel managed to escape. Having lost his memory, he sought help from Moira McTaggart. He took up the code name Vulcan, inspired by Roman mythology. Later, he joined the the X-Men and fought alongside them. Vulcan has the power of energy manipulation, transformation, and projection, all of which he does psionically. He's able to fly, and outside the atmosphere, his flight can reach the speed of light. He's a telepath and a telekinetic. His powers are said to have reached an Omega level after he absorbed a lot of mutant energies from M-Day. He once beat both his brothers in a brawl and won it clean. The X-Men once thought that Banshee sound waves could hurt Vulcan, so they tried to use Banshee against him. But Vulcan surprised them and manipulated Banshee's sound waves and killed him in the battle. Such was his power. He later single-handedly destroyed the indestructible Stargates of Shi'ar and took over the Shi'ar Empire as their overlord. Later, when faced with the choice of saving the universe, he absorbed the entire blast of the Finality, the most powerful blast in the universe. It resulted in the creation of a new star. Later in a battle, he faced Adam Warlock, the most powerful superhero in the multiverse. Vulcan simply absorbed all of Adam's energies, rendering him powerless, stopping Adam dead in his tracks before the fight even started. He suggested that he can fully generate and control 7 elements: fire, earth, water, wind, electricity, light, and darkness, thus making him more than an Omega. Emma Frost. Emma Grace Frost, aka White Queen, first appeared in the Uncanny X-Men issue number 129 in January 1980. She was created by writer Chris Claremont and artist co-writer John Byrne. She was born in a very wealthy family and had 4 siblings. A lonely, bullied girl, she fell in love with her teacher, Ian. Her telepathic powers started to bloom, so she took a job of tutor at school to connect to her students well. But when her family disapproved of her relation with Ian, she left everything and started off as a homeless person. Her second love, Troy, was killed in a kidnapping coup by the mobster Lucien. That was when she used her powers to make the thugs hallucinate a gunfight and kill each other. She escaped with the ransom and started learning about mutants. Later, she joined the villainous Hellfire Club and emerged as one of its leaders after killing former member Buckman and Council of the Chosen. She was named the White Queen of Hellfire. Although she started off as a supervillain, she later joined the X-Men and has been their ally since. Frost owns the limitless powers of telepathy and telekinesis. She can use her telepathy to project herself into astral form. She's able to read and control any human mind. She is also a skilled hand-to-hand combatant. Her skin can turn into diamond, making her almost indestructible. But the display of all these powers did not quite earn her a place alongside other Omegas. She once became the host to the Phoenix Force, and wielding that force, she shut down the Avengers Academy. It was then when she was officially designated as an Omega. Emma Frost also makes her appearance in the movie X-Men First Class and was portrayed by the actress January Jones. Iceman. Robert Louis Bobby Drake, aka Iceman, made his first appearance in the X-Men issue number 1 in September 1963. He was created by writer Stan Lee and artist co-plotter Jack Kirby. He was born into a normal family. During his teen years, while he was on a date with a girl, a local bully tried to humiliate Bobby and take his date away. Bobby just pointed and encased him in a block of ice. That was when his powers first manifested. Cyclops offered him help and he joined Xavier's school for gifted youngsters. Since then, he has been a part of X-Men. He's revealed to be closet gay and learning to come out. This has increased his popularity among fans a lot. He is considered as one of the most powerful and notable gay characters in comic books. His main power lies in creating ice. He's a cryokinetic and hydrokinetic who can create, shape, and manipulate water and ice and use it to his advantage. He's also able to regenerate cells to a certain extent. He can turn into an enhanced physical form of water and ice. Since he has a power to influence the ecosystem of the entire planet, he's been termed as an Omega. He once froze a celestial ship completely and contained a nuclear blast while kissing Mystique. He was the only mutant who stopped Juggernaut in his enraged mode. He froze Juggernaut in his tracks. While in Hell, he used his powers to freeze Hell over. When he was taken over by the Celestial Death, he let loose and covered the world in ice. He was stopped by the X-Men, or he could have brought the next Ice Age. He once himself turned into an ice giant to fight another monster. Once, Iceman was poisoned, and he used his cryo and hydrokinetic powers to replace each and every cell in his own body. His most impressive feat was perhaps rewriting the laws of physics and turning light around Juggernaut into ice while in a battle with him. Iceman's character has made his appearance in the X-Men movie franchise and was played by actor Shawn Ashmore. James Braddock Jr., aka Monarch, first appeared in Captain Britain issue number 9 in December 1976. He was created by the writer-artist duo Chris Claremont and Herb Trimpe. He was financially a genius and a race car driver, and made Braddock Industries flourish. But he was targeted by the supervillain Dr. Sin, and fell victim to a car accident. He got in deep debts with loan sharks and resorted to theft and robbery. He was abducted by Dr. Crocodile, an African shaman who wanted to punish him for his crime. Crocodile's treatment drove Jamie to insanity, to such a point that he believed the entire existence is a dream. It was then when his reality warping powers kicked in. He then used it to his will under the moniker Monarch. He's classified as an Omega mainly due to the extent of his reality warping abilities. He visualizes the world as string constructs that he can pull and rearrange reality according to his will. He can will anything in and out of existence. He can splinter his timeline into several pocket realities and trap his opponents there. He resurrected Psylocke, his sister, from death after she died in her battle with Varga. After Jamie was killed by Psylocke, he resurrected through unknown means. Upon resurrection, he developed new powers to summon other dimensional beasts and telepathically read minds as well. There is no upper limit to Jamie's powers as he keeps on developing new ones day by day. Mad Jim Jaspers. Sir James Jaspers, aka Mad Jim Jaspers, first appeared in Daredevil's issue number 7 in July 1983. He was created by the writer-artist duo Alan Moore and Alan Davis. Aided by Sebastian Shaw in his campaign, Jim was elected as the Prime Minister of the UK. He put up an anti-mutant stance in his campaign and was supported hands down by the normal people. It was later revealed that he himself was a mutant with reality warping powers. Although James has never been officially designated as an Omega, it would be safe to say that he has got powers that can make him an Omega any day, maybe even far more than an Omega. His main power is that of warping reality. He has altered reality on multiple occasions and sometimes on a cosmic and multiversal scale. He's able to bend the laws of physics to turn multiple universes uninhabitable. Once he bent time and space to his will and created multi-dimensional Tesseract space from thin air. When the deadly cyborg symbiote known as the Fury attacked Jim and vaporized him, Jim resurrected himself by building his entire body cell by cell. Currently, Jaspers acts as the overlord of Otherworld's crooked market in the comic books. Exodus. Bennett Duparis, aka Exodus, first appeared in X-Factor issue number 92 in July 1993. He was created by writer-artist duo Scott Lobdell and Joe Quesada. As an explorer in the 12th century, he started on a quest to find the mythical Tower of Power. Left alone by his fellow men, he almost died in the desert when a cosmic voice gave him a choice to be tested in order to become one of the strong. His powers of telepathy and telekinesis manifested, and he turned into Exodus. Exodus is an immortal mutant who has the powers of telepathy and telekinesis, along with a regenerative factor. He is able to teleport to great distances. He's often termed as a psionic vampire, who can suck the psionic energy from the people around him. Once he took on the entire X-Force team alone and defeated them in a fight. They had to surrender to not get killed by Exodus. He went into a psionic battle with the Eternal Cersei and stood his ground. Their battle nearly decimated Genosha. He once battled the combined forces of X-Men and Avengers and held them off single-handedly. Once he attacked the X-Mansion and faced a Sentinel guarding it. He used his telekinetic power to tear off the Sentinel into pieces. When Xavier was shot through the head, Exodus gathered his brains and telekinetically rearranged and repaired it, waking him up from his coma. He burned Wolverine down to his skeleton in a battle, and he would have died if not for his healing factor. He was once buried deep inside Earth by X-Man, but even that couldn't kill him. He made his way out and appeared well. Exodus is deemed to be so powerful that even Rogue could not absorb his powers in its entirety. Elixir. Elixir was created by the trio Nunzio De Filippis, Christina Weir, and Karen Grant. He made his first appearance in New Mutants Volume 2, issue number 5 in November 2003. He is an Omega-level biokinetic who can alter any biological tissue to his will. During an attack by the Ravagers, his powers manifested for the first time. After that, his parents started to despise him and eventually threw him out. Disheartened, he joined Xavier Institute for Higher Learning out of reluctance. Since then, he's been a part of the X-Men. The mutant Danny Moonstar took over as Elixir's legal guardian later. As a biokinetic, he's not only able to affect any biological life, but is also able to heal and endow life force to anyone for resurrection. He's one of the key members of the team named the Five, which was formed to rebuild mutant kind. In the Five, the mutant known as Egg produces eggs, and Elixir adds the mutant DNA to them and produces the perfect clone of a deceased mutant. Once he cured X-23 of the fatal legacy virus, even when the virus was of techno-organic nature. Once Elixir was killed by the Dark Riders, as they wanted to kill off all the mutants with healing power. But Elixir healed himself back to life. So he's potentially immortal. He once cured the deadly Mpox over a limited affected area. He has the Death Touch ability. If he touches any mutant with his Death Touch, their mutant cells will turn against their bodies and kill them. He's also able to invert magic spells that have been inflicted on someone and turn them back to their healed self. His greatest display of his Omega-level power was when he resurrected 16 million dead mutants in Genosha. Powerhouse. Powerhouse was first introduced in comics in Spider-Man issue number 15 in August 1991. She was created by the legendary writer-artist Erik Larsen. Very little is known about her background or where she comes from. As far as the story goes, once she developed her mutant powers, she also birthed an agenda of killing all humankind. Once, when the X-Man Beast was lecturing at the ESU on genetics, Powerhouse and Master Blaster attacked. Beast took the aid of Spider-Man and fought the supervillains. Powerhouse was defeated and taken into police custody. Later, Powerhouse again kickstarted her anti-human movement and started attacking everyone and everything near the UN building. She was eventually defeated by Wolverine and Warbird. Powerhouse has never been officially classified as an Omega-level mutant, but her array of powers is so impressive and at par with other Omegas that she's made it to the list by word of mouth. Powerhouse is often termed as a psychic vampire. She's able to connect telepathically with her victims and drain their life energy in order to feed her cells and make herself more powerful. She can also do the same through physical contact. She's known to drain life energies from her opponents with a single blow. She has the power of flight and is also able to shoot fatal energy blasts from her eyes. Charging herself up with the life energies of others also gives her immeasurable strength, but it's not clear if her strength decreases when the energy dissipates. After the events of M-Day, she seems to have lost her mutant powers. Franklin Richards also used the codename Powerhouse during his superhero career, but has since dropped it. Madelyne Pryor. Madelyne Pryor was first introduced in Uncanny X-Men issue number 168 in April 1983 and was created by writer Chris Claremont and artist Paul Smith. She was the perfect clone of Jean Grey, with all her powers intact. However, it was not so in the beginning. When she was created by Dr. Sinister, she was a lifeless clone, but when Jean Grey killed herself in the Phoenix form, a part of the Phoenix Force merged with the clone's body and gave her life. She was named Madelyne Pryor by Dr. Sinister. He gave her false memories so that she can attract Scott and eventually have their baby Nathan, whom Sinister abducted later. Madelyne, by default, makes the list of Omega since she's Jean's perfect clone. She has got that Omega-level telepathy and telekinesis owned by Jean. When she was using the codename Anodyne and didn't manifest any mutant powers yet, she came to possess Asgardian magic. She was able to generate Eldritch Flame to heal and cure. She chose to be a demon when offered power by Sim, and was endowed with the Goblin Force, a force more powerful than Phoenix. Absorbing the Force, she turned into the Goblin Queen. When she took over the moniker of Goblin Queen, the demonic Eldritch power kick-started Madelyne's long-suppressed mutant gene, and she got the power to warp reality. Psychokinetically, she's able to transport long distances and also phase in and out of astral planes. Her name appeared as an Easter egg in the movie Deadpool 2 on a truck labeled Pryor's Treats. Isca the Unbeaten. Isca, an ancient mutant, made her first appearance in X-Men Volume 5, issue number 12 in September 2020. She was created by the writer-artist duo Jonathan Hickman and Pepe Larraz. She used to live on the island of Okara. She was the sister of the mutant Genesis and the sister-in-law to Apocalypse. She was an ordinary child from birth, but once her mutant powers kicked in, she discovered that she always won. As a result, she took over the moniker of Isca the Unbeaten. Isca primarily made it to the Omega list mainly because of her inability to lose. She would always win, be it a wager, a race, or a battle. She would win either with the help of her power or by a twist of fate. With every battle she fights, whether one-on-one or with an army, her body changes itself so that she can fit in. Also, her mutant powers cannot be shut off by any other mutant. As such, she remains undefeated till date. Tarn the Uncaring. Tarn, aka Tarn the Uncaring, made his first appearance in Helion's issue number 6. He was created by the writer-artist duo Zeb Wells and Carmen Carnero. When the mutants called Annihilation force-bred her demons and the abducted Okaran mutants, Tarn was born. He possessed powers of sorcery with the help of which he was able to shape and manipulate the genes of those mutants who served him. Although many died in the process, the ones who lived worshipped him as a god. He called his worshippers the Locusts Vile. He got into a relationship with Isca the Unbeaten, mainly to utilize her mutant ability of winning. Tarn is considered an Omega as he has the power of biologically manipulating DNA of his opponents, just by using his mind. He once confronted Mr. Sinister and his Helions alone in Amenth. His Locust Vials were so powerful that they killed Sinister and the Helions in the battle. Using his biokinesis, he once depowered and disfigured Storm. We also get to see a glimpse of his superhuman strength when he effortlessly breaks Vulcan's arm in a battle. He's able to take over his opponent's mind using telepathy and cause them great physiological pain. He once tore Mr. Sinister's clone just with his mind. So we can safely infer that Tarn keeps his place intact among the Omega mutants. Uqesh the Bridge. Uqesh, aka Uqesh the Bridge, made his first appearance in the comic books in Legion of X issue number 1 in May 2022. He was created by the writer-artist duo Pryor and Jan Bazaldua. When Arakko was under siege by the demons of Ament 6,000 years ago, Uqesh was present. The people of Arakko voted for Uqesh, which acquired him the seat of law, as they knew that he had the power to summon gods. Uqesh summoned 30 gods to lead the people of Arakko and counsel them, but the Arrakis failed miserably under the protection of the gods, and legions of soldiers were killed in the battle with Ament. This resulted in the people revolting against Uqesh. Ora Serrata, the witness, challenged him for the seat of law. They both went for a duel where Uqesh was defeated. His head was cut off and kept alive to make an example. Later, he was killed off by Ora, as the Arrakis were afraid that Uqesh's head might summon an angry god. So, although Uqesh did not have an array of power of the length as long as a hand, he is considered an Omega. It's solely because of his ability to summon the gods, whenever he likes, whether they want it or not. Nameless, the Shapeshifter Queen. Nameless, the Shapeshifter Queen, made her first appearance in Sword, Volume 2, Issue number 8, in September 2021. She was created by the writer-artist duo Al Ewing and Gui Villanova. She was a member of the Great Ring of Arakko. She was also the holder of the seat of All Around Us and acted as the regent of Arakko when there was peace all over. She has been listed as an Omega-level mutant mainly because of her powers of altering her appearance and mimicking that of her enemies. She could literally take on the appearance of anyone, and in doing so could also mimic their powers and use them to their highest potential. She went into a battle with Storm in Circle Perilous, where she took on the physical form of Storm in her most powerful avatar, but Storm froze her from moving and using her powers. It was in this battle that she was killed. So, although her story arc was short-lived, she's still acknowledged in the list of Omegas. Xilo. Xilo made his first appearance in Planet-Size X-Men issue number 1 in June 2021. He was created by writer-artist duo Jerry Duggan and Pepe Larraz. He was the mutant leader of an insect clan and has the shape of a centipede. He held the seat of history at the Table of Dusk while he was acting as a member in the Great Ring of Arakko. He served as the chief historian there. Xilo has been designated as an Omega-level mutant due to his power of terrakinesis. He is able to alter and shape stone and soil to his liking. His power extends to such a level that he once terraformed the entire planet of Mars. He merged with Mars and made its soil rich with elements and minerals that support life, created microscopic life forms and a sustainable, breathable atmosphere. The entire populace of Arakko was then transported to Mars, now a habitable planet. He's practically immortal since his insect-like features help him to shed body parts and regrow them and keep on living. Sobunar. Sobunar of the Depths is one of the members of the Great Ring of Arakko. He was first introduced in Planet-Size X-Men issue number 1 in June 2021. He was created by writer-artist duo Jerry Duggan and Pepe Larraz. He came from the aquatic line of marine mutants of Arakko and was the third of his line. Sobunar has made it to the Omega mutant list as he has got an entire marine biological ecosystem running in his bloodstream. Even a single drop of his blood can create oceans and marine life, replenishing entire planets. He helped create oceans and water bodies during the terraforming of Mars. He's able to fly using his water manipulation power. He's a genuinely peace-loving mutant. When it was time to vote whether or not Arakko would go to war against Ament, he chose peace. He's often referred to as an X-Men version of Prince Namor, the Submariner. While both are from the aquatic class of superheroes, Namor is nowhere near the godlike powers of Sobunar. The X-Men and Avengers fandom both want Namor and Sobunar to eventually team up and fight alongside against a common threat, or fight each other. That would actually be cooler. The internet is currently flooding with anticipation. Ora Serrata. Ora Serrata made her first appearance in comic books in Legion of X issue number 1, May 2022. She was created by writer Jonathan Hickman. She's one of the members of the Great Ring of Arakko and held the seat of law at the Dusk Table. She acted as a consultant on all legal matters and the final arbiter of Arakian law. She took over the seat of law after a duel with her predecessor, Uqesh the Bridge, by defeating him and eventually killing him. She's been referred to as an Omega-level mutant as she possesses the godlike power of erasing anything from existence that she looks at. But this power has a limitation. It'll only work on those who have submitted to her legal system. Anyone not believing in it will remain unaffected. In an attempt to catch the runaway god Tumult, Nightcrawler discovered that Ora had an evil plan of her own for which she recruited her. She believed that Arrakis was always stronger when tested with wars and battles. So she wanted to lead them to combat from the seat of law, but when she tried to convince Mother Righteous for her aid, he took her soul. So, as we can see so far, almost all of the members of the Great Ring of Arakko are Omega-level mutants. As it turns out, being an Omega is one of the mandatory attributes to be a member of the Ring. Now, let us tread farther and explore the rest of them. Idol. Idol was first introduced in the comic books X-Men Volume 5, issue number 12 in September 2020. He was created by the writer-artist duo Jonathan Hickman and Lionel Francis Yu. He was the High Mutant Priest of Arakko and a member of the Great Ring. He's hundreds of years old. The power of precognition earned Idol the Omega-level status. He was capable of looking into the future and getting visions. He had a vision that Arakko would fall under the swords of Amenth. He warned Genesis and the others from the Great Ring of Arakko. Genesis went on a years-long quest believing the words of Idol, but it was all in vain. Later, Idol had the precognitive vision of Arakko's destruction. That vision left him blind. Little is known about his status quo. Idol the Third. Idol the Third, aka Idol the Future Seer, was first introduced in comic books in Helion's issue number 14 in August 2021. She was created by the writer-artist duo Zeb Wells and Roge Antonio. She was an Omega-level mutant and the daughter of Idol, the High Mutant Priest. She took her father's place in the Great Ring of Krakoa when he passed. She's been designated as an Omega due to her power of seeing the future and uttering what will happen next. But even in doing so, she was never able to change anything that was going to happen. When Tarn the Uncaring decided to attack Krakoa, the others in the Council of the Great Ring strictly advised against that. Tarn promised that he'll not take any drastic steps and he'll stay his hands for then. But Idol saw the future and predicted that Tarn would not keep his promise. An angry Tarn cut off Idol's tongue out of spite, and she was not able to utter her prophecies any longer. When Arakko was attacked by the Eternal Uranus, all soldiers from the Great Ring went into battle with him. It was then that Isca the Unbeaten switched sides, cut off Idol's head, killed her. That ended the short-lived arc of this Omega mutant, just like her father, and a tragic one at that. Genesis. Genesis, the wife of the omnipowerful mutant Apocalypse, was first introduced in X-Men Dark Ages issue number 1 in July 2020. She was created by the creative team of Jonathan Hickman, Pepe Larraz, and Lionel Francis Yu. She ruled the ancient lands of Akara alongside her husband, Apocalypse. She had 4 children with him, who became the first 4 horsemen of the Apocalypse. When Arakko was sealed off to Amenth, she led a decade-long crusade to end the wrath of Amenth on Arakko. After that, she was considered to be a legend, but later on, Annihilation captured her and let Amenth attack Arakko with its full might. Annihilation then started controlling her and used her army to invade Otherworld, and then Earth. Genesis makes it to the high end of the Omega mutants list and is one of the most recognized, since she's the wife of Apocalypse. She has the power of chlorokinesis, which she uses to control all plant-based life forms around her. While using her powers, she projects the ancient Egyptian symbol of the Eye of Horus. She also has superhuman longevity and is thousands of years old. She's so brilliant in sword combat that she defeated and killed Annihilation in a sword battle. After killing Annihilation, Saturnine transformed the golden helm that controlled Genesis into a golden staff. Genesis took over the golden staff and offered her husband Apocalypse to rule Arakko and accompany her to Amenth. Apocalypse took her offer and freed millions of mutants from their exile in Amenth. The Genesis moniker was also taken up by another supervillain, Tyler Dayspring, in Marvel Comics, and is a foe to Wolverine and Cable, but he was killed by Wolverine in his feral state. He has not been mentioned in the comic book since his death. Redroot the Forest. Redroot the Forest was first introduced in comic books in X of Swords, Stasis, issue number 1 in October 2020. She was created by the creative team of Jonathan Hickman, Tiny Howard, and Pepe Larraz. She is a pure-blood mutant from Amenth. Since she's able to communicate with Arakko, she was designated as the voice of Amenth. She wields the Alluvium blade as well, which makes her one of the sword breakers of Arakko. Redroot has been officially recognized as an Omega since the beginning. Through the powers of botomancy and botanopathy, she's able to communicate with the flora of any planet, and thus the planet itself. She's able to turn any organic matter into rot just by willing it. During Saturnine's contest, she won an eating competition by rotting all the food and eating it. Her only drawback is that she's extremely slow in pace. During a race with Captain Avalon, she destroyed the crystal idol of Bombu, a priceless artifact. Infuriated with her action, Mad Jim Jaspers imprisoned her. Currently, she's shown to be in absence in the comic books. Lotus Logos was first introduced in the comic books in Sword Volume 2, issue number 8, in September 2021. He was created by the writer-artist duo Al Ewing and Gui Villanova. He's one of the members of the Great Rings of Arakko and occupied the Seat of Dreams in the Table of Dusk. He looks into and excels in the matters of song, poetry, and art. He's a friend to Storm and is an optimistic poet and sculptor by hobby. Lotus Logo is considered to be an Omega-level mutant due to his power of verbal metallogenesis. Using this power, he can utter words and turn those words into metal. He can create any amount of metal using his words and also give it a shape. But being an artist and a perfectionist, he focused on creating small amounts of metal like daggers through his poetry and giving it shape and beauty. When Eternal Uranus attacked Arakko, Storm gave up her seat of All-Arounders and the Regency of Sol to Lotus Logos. So here we can safely assume that Lotus Logos is the one and only mutant that makes it to the Omega list just based on his artistic capabilities. Lactuca the Knower. Lactuca the Knower was first introduced in the comic books in Planet Size X-Men issue number 1 in June 2021. She was created by the writer-artist duo Jerry Dugan and Pepe Larraz. Lactuca was one of the members of the Great Ring of Arakko and held a seat at the Table of Day. Lactuca's gender has not been revealed in the comic books yet. Lactuca's entire body looks like the night sky and is highly enigmatic. Lactuca is listed as an Omega due to the power of spatial knowledge and awareness. Lactuca knows the location of anything and everything, whether it be in this universe or others. When Arakko was being transported to the newly terraformed Mars, Lactuca helped Marvel Girl in moving the island of Arakko in its entirety using the external gate. Later, Lactuca faced Tarn the Uncaring and told him that he would be crushed by the Table of Day. Lactuca may not have many appearances in comics, but the power of knowing everything's location knows no bounds and is almost godlike. Conclusion. So, my fellow mutants, this concludes our journey of the list of Omegas. From what we've seen today, there are many mutants who are designated as an Omega, and the list is ever growing. Some of the mutants had to work very hard and took decades to do an unlimited display of any one of their powers to reach this stature. And some mutants are so powerful that they know no bounds. They are so impressive that they were designated Omegas relatively soon in their careers. Then there were Omegas who were never really officiated as an Omega in the comics, but their fandom is so huge and they have so much internet presence and so many live threads on them that they are named Omegas by their fans and their word of mouth. And at last, we come to know of those mutants who were introduced as Omegas to begin with, however lame their powers were, and however short-lived their story arcs were. We will surely let you mutants know of any new Omega that pops up in the future. Mutant and proud. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.